Hey guys, Gordo here. I thought I'd let you know that there are some heavy conversations surrounding war, suicide, and moral injury within this documentary. But there are also answers, and I want you to remember that we are not alone.
Rough men stand ready in the night to do violence upon those who would do you harm. That's us.
You know how many times my friend's gone to rehab, that the guy that wants to kill himself all the time? 3 times! And he's still swimming in it. But we can't fund this? We're just gonna keep prescribing someone drugs? No wonder people are killing themselves. Fuck! I've been circling Dr. Manuela Joano now for 3 years, sending people here. And only now we're making a documentary because we were so fed up with getting no help from the establishment. Has to be me and my brothers to go raise the money and put us in a position where I have to ask people for money. You think I want to ask people for money? Fuck.
When you're on the pointy end of the stick, when you have these critical life and death moments and you witness terrible traumas and death and injury, of course it's going to impact you. I mean, there'd be something wrong with you if it didn't impact you.
Can I go next or?
Absolutely.
All right. Tell me who you are. Give me kind of a bio.
Oh man. So Gordon Hurley. I spent just shy of 15 years in the Canadian Armed Forces, half as a light infantry airborne reconnaissance patrolman, and the other half as a special operator and joint terminal attack controller.
What the fuck does that mean?
Oh man. So a light infantry airborne reconnaissance patrolman is basically your most raw, pure form of soldier. So joint terminal attack controller is basically an air traffic controller on steroids, but you're not landing planes, you're dropping bombs.
So I am a 21-year Canadian Forces veteran. Spent 5 years in the Light Infantry Battalion in CFB Petawawa. And then I transferred to CANSOFCOM, where I worked for 14 years in a Special Missions Unit. The call to adventure was to be a part of something that was bigger than myself, something that was hopefully changing the world for good.
Pace of special forces is just, and these guys, and we want it. So you're going up and up and up and up, and it's just piling on and on. And then, suicide. I was a living example of what operator syndrome was at that moment. I had a bomb explode in my fucking face at the beginning of my career. Broke my foot, so a less franc injury. I had surgery on my hand, left shoulder surgery, right knee surgery, and then I ended up getting a partially detached retina. I've had elbow surgery. I've had that implant failed from, I'm pretty sure, from grinding my teeth into nothing. And then TBIs, concussions, plus all the mental health stuff. I think that's it.
What was different about my childhood from most is that I came from a broken family with a mother that was addicted to drugs. So we moved around a lot, and we had to move in with my aunt and uncle at one point, living in their basement. While I was there, I was around 8 years old. I was subject to sexual abuse by my uncle, which also shaped my psyche to make sure that doesn't happen to other people.
I'm Manuela Joano. I'm a family physician, emergency physician of 35 years. I also have a very special interest in psychotherapy, especially as it pertains to helping military members, veterans, first responders. Back in 2014, when I lost somebody that was pretty dear soul to suicide, I started getting very curious about how can we support the mental health of our first responders. So we recognize that ketamine, which can take people out of this suicidal state very quickly, is a very powerful tool for us to have to be able to offer people. So we started giving IV ketamine at our hospital here in 2018, and it's able to take people out of a very deep, dark depressive, even suicidal hole, sometimes within an hour. We need something like this, obviously. Psychedelics scare a lot of people. It turns them off. They're thinking about what happened with LSD back in, the late 60s and the whole Timothy Leary story. I don't think we need to be afraid, at least certainly not of ketamine. Ketamine is a dissociative anesthetic, but it does give people this psychedelic experience.
And I think that's what this is all about. You'll cry more probably in this cohort than you ever have, or maybe it's already been released. You'll laugh more than you maybe ever have. And any expedition I've done with soldiers, it's what keeps me coming back is that raw emotion that comes out when you're opening yourself up and you're vulnerable.
I came through here initially in 2020 on a cohort, the 6-day program. My relationship with my wife and my daughter was basically on its last thread. John calls me and says, "Hey buddy, we've got a program that's running this week." And I backpedaled so hard not to come. So I said, give me some time, I'll get back to you. Probably 20 minutes later, I called him and said, "Yes, sign me up." Because if not here, and if not with her, and if not with him, then when, where, and with whom would I take this step? I'll be honest, my experience was very, very dark. It was very, very traumatic for me. But that was the road I was on at that time, and that's where that road led to. You're in the right place, you're with the right people, this is the right time, and we will do our very, very best to look after you. We won't make promises, but we will look after you. You guys will be safe here. And like it was said earlier, trust is huge. It's a big ask, but trust us. Thanks, guys.
Why this program works is because we rip the Band-Aid off. We go right to the injury, and the injury is a moral injury, not just this or this. It's an injury to the soul.
I do remember when I left here, there was one little thing. We do little drawings, won't give secrets away to the cohort, but you do a drawing in the beginning of what you look like and a drawing at the end. And in a little yellow marker, because I couldn't find anything else here, on this drawing, I put a word, and it was called hope. Hold on, pain ends. And so to some, it might sound tacky, but that was what kept me going, was hope. And when things go dark, that's when we start thinking of this stuff, because you know what? We have no hope. There's no use. Why am I doing this? But if you have hope, you'll always keep going. So I encourage you all, if you're talking with anybody of your buddies and you got to get them in a place, give them that acronym. Buddy, just hold on, pain ends.
When people come here, so often you realize, wait a second, I don't even remember what it's like to feel happy. I want you to think about what makes you happy. And if you can't think about what makes you happy now, think about what do you remember in the past that used to make you happy. All right, guys, we're gonna give you these. Don't take them yet. You can't heal from these injuries alone. It takes vulnerability, which is one of the scariest things.
You want to talk about drug addictions or alcohol addictions? No. Like war addiction? That's the driver within this community is like, I don't want to do this stuff for fake. Like, yeah, okay, skydiving and all that other shit's fun, but like, no. I want to take human life. I want to see other men do the most amazing things, heroic actions, sacrifice, love.
You're only as good as your last op, so you can't stop. Operator Derek was who I was. We would have to go snatch people out of their homes, rip them away from their screaming kids, begging us not to take their father. Here's an example of what I consider a moral injury. You're sitting on top of a rooftop, watching gangs of armed combatants kill innocent women and children, but because of policies and ROEs, you are not allowed to squeeze a trigger.
Of course we're there for our government's sake, right? But when you're fighting pure evil, it's not about that anymore. It was about the civilians that are there who are being tortured to death by this evil that just can't chill out and have a beer and a barbecue on a Sunday. Instead, they would rather chop people's heads off and put it on TV. You're dropping bombs in an urban center, Mosul, 7-9 million people? Who was affected by that?
So a deployment midway into my career, we were calling in bombs on the enemy. And earlier that day, I saw a family. I saw 2 little girls and their mom go into an adjacent building. And then I saw 2 enemy combatants go into a building across the street. I helped coordinate an air stack to get a bomb dropped onto that target. Because of the approach of the aircraft, the bomb detonated the building it was supposed to, but it also had collateral damage onto the building that had the mother and the 2 girls. And I feel like that was something I had to carry. The death of those innocent people was at my hands.
How did you feel?
Horrible. I felt absolutely horrible. Dealing with emotional pain is scarier than any firefight you're going to be in.
I want to be that person, but most days it's so fucking hard because you've got so much shit creeping in that you're just kind of coasting, hoping to get a better day where you can kind of be the person you want to be. That be the dad you want to be, or whatever.
You don't get that?
War is in itself kind of like a psychedelic experience. It can go to very dark places, but it can go to incredibly brotherly love places that I have rarely heard described as eloquently as warriors telling me, yeah, that form of love is almost non-existent elsewhere other than between warriors, right? And that's what we see here. In a setting like this, where you have a group-based activity, something magical happens that I can't quite describe, but there's an energy transaction which is a net positive. And most transactions between human beings end up being one wins and one loses, but rarely they both elevate. The dream states you might have with the ketamine, the stuff you have as a nightmare, right? Don't quickly come to the conclusion that it's full, right? Don't come to a conclusion. And that's the best advice I could give you when you go into your journey. Whatever happens, right?
For whatever reason, I'll be in the shower and I will have an argument with my wife, who's not present. And she'll say this, and then I'll say that. And then she'll say this, and then I'll say that. And then she says this, and I'm gonna say that. I'm jacked. I'm physically responding and reacting to a situation that is completely in my head. I have to break the cycle. And this is where the saying comes from. That's just not fucking helpful. So I get into this cycle in my head. I stop myself. I recognize it a little bit more quickly now. I've gotten to the point now where my wife will be down the hall or in the bedroom or whatever, and she hears me say, that's just not fucking helpful. And I'll hear her from down the hallway, and she'll say, good catch, asshole.
And we do have this philosophy in psychedelic medicine that the medicine has this amazing way of allowing the ego to step aside a little bit and allow the more vulnerable parts of you to have a spot in the driver's seat.
Just to prevent nausea. We don't want anyone being sick on us, enjoying their trip. Same thing, I don't know if you heard me, just under your tongue, it's just all this.
I really believe that you can't heal from moral injury alone. And we need other people to support us through the difficult, salient, challenging times in our lives.
The medicine is going to be working, and you can, to a certain degree, fight against it. You will diminish your experience. Let go of the wheel, relinquish control, because in reality, we're not in control of anything. Go as far as you possibly can.
And we got you.
And we've got you. We will look after you.
And as clinicians, of course, it's our responsibility to keep people safe, but it's not our role to interpret people's journeys. We can set the stage, we can give people the roadmap as much as we can, but the joke is, don't always get what you want, but you get what you need.
Yes, ma'am. The stress of the job was really what started the backslide into poor mental health and ultimately suicide. So,
Suicidal ideation. Do it again because you didn't carry through it.
well, I had a suicide attempt.
It was so bad that I was smoking so much weed, I couldn't connect with anyone. I couldn't connect with my 2 little girls. I couldn't connect with my wife. I had zero emotion towards loving them, towards helping them.
Suicide like consumed me. I would want my parachute to never open. I would want the plane I was on to crash. I wish I got killed in combat so I would have the honor of being killed in combat.
I smoked so much cannabis that I had a complete psychotic break. I could start hearing my kids screaming, and they weren't even in the house. I thought my wife was the devil.
Decided I would slit my wrist. Realized, holy fuck, that was a mistake. Put a towel on my wrist, drove myself to the hospital, lied to them, said, no, I'm special forces. Like I was working on kit, I was trying to put kit together, I slipped, and I accidentally cut myself.
I came out as if I was gonna surrender and everything was gonna be all good. And then I decided I wanted to die. And I was fighting, struggling with the cops and yelling at them to kill me. And when the cops tased me, took me to the ground, and I continued to fight, I tried to go for a handcuff key that I keep in my belt. But when I looked down, I realized I was naked.
As soon as the mission would be done and we're back at like the base or whatever, I'd just be fantasizing about killing myself. The only time I felt whole was when I was doing my job. In the shacks in Petawawa, you're not allowed to have a gun in the shacks, but like, I was fucking checking my shack room. And I would sleep with a shotgun in my bed at nighttime. And I would put my mouth on it. And that would bring me solace. And then I would think like some poor fucking schmuck private would have to be scraping my brains off the walls. Another guy killed himself in the shacks. At this time, there's so much suicide in the military. There's so much suicide. And like a guy, I didn't know him, but like all my buddies knew him from the regular military. And he fucking blew his head off with a shotgun in the barracks right down the street from me. And I knew the car he drove. I knew like he had a nice, like it was a Beamer or some shit. And they didn't fucking move that car for like 3 months. And for me to drive to work every day, I fucking drove by that guy's car. Every day. Like 3 fucking months, this guy. They didn't move his car, and it was just like, I just thought like, how many other dudes are like this, like driving by?
The toughest battles that I've seen soldiers face, and we heard that this weekend again, is they can love their brothers and sisters to the point of throwing themselves on a grenade to save their lives. But they have the toughest battle to love themselves unconditionally. And I think that's our mission on earth, is to learn to love ourselves as unconditionally as we love our brothers and sisters. And if the psychedelics can help be the catalyst to that, then I think we're off to the races, right?
Wow. For the first time with psychedelics, I didn't set an intention. Actually, that's a lie. My intention was to explore, was to go. I went back and I saw the pain, I saw growth. And then I asked myself, you've dealt with that. You've already dealt with that. Like, what is next? And when I went inward with it, I saw fucking Drew. And I was told that it was from him, man, like to keep going, to show the boys, like to show the warriors like this so they can go and live their lives. And I found my why. My why is to heal. And I can do that through showing it. God damn, DK, motherfucker. Oh my God, man. Can you believe it, dude?
Can you fucking believe it? We did it, man. We fucking did it, dude.
Thank you so much, Gord.
I love you.
I love you, brother. Thank you so much. You saved my life.
Oh, fuck, dude.
It was that same comfortable feeling. It was love. It was love for my brothers. Nothing. You can't put price on that.
I love you, dude.
I love you.
I don't know what more people need, even without the research. What do you mean? What do you mean? Look how much I'm crying, and all the other guys, how much they cried and what they got from it. And you're not willing to accept this as like a treatment modality. We're just going to keep prescribing someone drugs.
It gave me permission to let go of the idea of suicide, right? Because that's not a way out. That's a cheat, right? It gave me hope that things will get better, and that at one point in my life I will go back to unconditional love, to the source, and then I'll just start that cycle all over again, right? So from now on, every day is a godsend, right? When I figure out that the programming's starting to kick in, the stress is coming back, I just have to remember. I just have to remember to love myself, to slow down, to take the gas off, take the foot off the gas pedal and plug myself in, to recharge myself, to become whole again.
Hearing men in this profession speak so eloquently about how well this treatment worked for them, how they were able to move past things, childhood trauma, sexual childhood trauma, deep shit, man. And they had healing from it. I don't know what more you need as proof.
Knowing that there is a place like this that could help my brotherhood from killing themselves, and it's not being shouted from the rooftops, is an injustice in my mind.
If we do good, we'll send them a pension and say, take your medications and good luck, right? I don't think that's what a civil society should be doing. The social capital that person brings to society, right, is immeasurable, because it came at the biggest cost of all, right? And we send them to fight our goddamn wars in some faraway places and tell them not to come back and tell us about it. And that's just not a way to treat human beings. Plus, it doesn't make, in my mind, economic or social sense to do that. How we can keep squandering these precious resources called human beings, doesn't make any sense in my mind.
When I hear of a suicide of a military member, veteran, first responder, it is literally a knife in my heart. If only we'd had a chance with them, because we've had so many people who've had serious suicidal ideation and have been at serious risk. It doesn't scare us. We want those people to come to us because we understand the hell that is the brain of a person who's really struggling. And we want to tell them, you don't have to live like this. It does not have to be like this.
Wow. Heavy stuff, hey guys? I'm glad you made it this far. And as you can see, I'm here and I'm doing all right. And I want you to do all right too. So if you have anything that's caught up in your life, feel free to reach out to me. There's an email in the description, and I can link you in with the professionals that can get you the help that you deserve. It's been years of people asking me what the solution is and what direction we should go, Gordo. And for years, I didn't have an answer. Now, I've been lucky enough to surround myself with some amazing individuals. And that collective as a group helped me solve a problem that I couldn't solve myself. Together, we have created something called the Veteran Accelerated Access Research Program. The VARP looks to partner Health Canada, Veterans Affairs Canada, and our provincial healthcare systems in order to deliver psychedelic-assisted psychotherapy in a health-regulated format, delivering veterans the solutions to their mental health crisis that we've been asking for years. Now we're starting in the great province of Alberta because they already have psychedelic-assisted psychotherapy baked into their healthcare system. So we can do a test pilot there, adjust, and move on to a national implementation. Woo-wee! God damn, that sounds like a lot of work. And I don't know who's going to be doing it, but probably going to be me. So I think we need to refocus, guys. The mission continues. This is a docu-series, not a documentary. I just spent last weekend filming my next hero character for the documentary. It's going to be on some female Canadian Armed Forces veterans, and I'm going to be taking them to Mexico to get Ibogaine and 5-MeO. I wouldn't have been able to do any of this without the support coming from you guys. Not only the words written to me in messages, but the monetary amounts as well. We need to keep the pace up. That means more money, more funding, more support, more messages, more sharing, more likes, more everything. Let's keep the pressure up. It's time for veterans to get the treatment that they deserve to live a rich and fulfilling life as they once thought they would while serving in the military. I love you guys all the way. Peace out.